So, we're all talking about artificial intelligence, right? It's everywhere. But the really big conversation, the one about ethics, it feels like it's completely stuck. We're all racing to build good AI, but it seems like we might be starting from a place that's, well, just plain wrong. I mean, think about it. There's been this huge global push. Hundreds of AI ethics frameworks have been created. And if you glance at them, they all seem to agree on the big stuff, fairness, transparency, accountability. And yet, they're failing consistently. They aren't stopping bias, people don't trust them, and we're no closer to agreeing on what AI should even be doing in our lives. So, what gives? Why are all these well intentioned, super smart efforts just falling flat? The problem, it turns out, isn't a technical one. This isn't about writing better code or feeding the machines more data. Nope. It's something much, much deeper. It's a human problem. The failure is anthropological. Now, that's a big word, but the idea is simple. All these rulebooks talk about human well-being and fairness as if we all have the same definition for those things. But we don't. Not anymore. We don't have a shared basic understanding of what it even means to be human. And how can we possibly build AI for the good of humanity if we can't agree on what's good for ourselves?
Okay, so to really get to the bottom of this, we need to take a step back and look at our relationship with technology itself. And I mean our ancient, incredibly deep relationship with it.
The cognitive scientist Andy Clark put it in a way that I just love. He calls us natural-born cyborgs. Sounds like something out of a movie, right? But he's not talking about science fiction. He's saying this is our fundamental nature. Our minds have always been these amazing hybrids, built to weave together our brains, our bodies, and the tools we create. Way back, the media theorist Marshall McLuhan had this brilliant concept of the extensions of man. He said that all of our technologies are just extensions of our bodies and our minds. Think about it. A wheel? That's just an extension of the foot. Writing? That's an extension of your memory. Clothing is an extension of your skin. And today, our phones and the internet are basically an extension of our entire nervous system, stretched out across the whole planet. Now, these extensions tend to work in two main ways. Some are what you'd call amplificatory. They take something we can already do, like see, and just make it way better, like a telescope. But then there are the complementary ones, and these are the real game changers. They give us a totally new power we never had before, like a lighter, giving us the almost magical ability to make fire whenever we want.
But, and this is a big but, this relationship we have with technology isn't all positive. There's a darker side, a way of thinking that technology pushes us towards, one that can actually shrink our world, and even shrink us.
The philosopher Martin Heidegger had a name for this danger: inframing. He warned that modern technology isn't just a box of tools, it's a worldview. It's like putting on a pair of glasses that changes how you see everything. And through these glasses, the entire world, nature, objects, even other people, starts to look like nothing more than a pile of raw material to be managed, optimized, and used. And when you're stuck in that inframed way of seeing things, the world becomes what Heidegger called a standing reserve. It's just a giant stockpile waiting to be exploited. A forest is no longer a living, breathing ecosystem, it's just timber. A river isn't a force of nature, it's just potential hydroelectric power. And a person? Well, they become a human resource, just another unit in the stockpile. And this is where it gets really mind-bending. This technological influence doesn't just change how we see the world out there, it actually worms its way inside and changes the very structure of our consciousness in here. The philosopher Bernard Stiegler gave us a really cool way to think about this. He said our consciousness is built from three kinds of memory. First, there's primary retention. That's just what you're seeing and hearing right now, in the moment. Then you've got secondary retention. That's your own internal memory, your imagination. But then, and this is the kicker, there's tertiary retention. That's all the memory we store outside ourselves, in our technology, in books, in photos, in films, and now in absolutely massive databases. So what does this all mean? It means our minds are not these self-contained things locked away in our skulls. Our consciousness is co-produced with our tools. The tech we build to hold our memories isn't just a passive filing cabinet. It actively shapes our experience of time, how we build our life story, and ultimately, who we are. This deep, deep connection between us and the things we make leads us right to the doorstep of AI, and to a really powerful way of thinking about what we're doing here. Theologian Richard Gunton offers this really thought-provoking analogy. The idea is that we are, maybe without even realizing it, copying a divine pattern. Just like some religious traditions say that humans are made in the image of a creator, we are now turning around and making artificial intelligence in our image. But, and you knew there was a but coming, right? This analogy comes with a huge warning label. A creation can never be identical to its creator. The likeness is just that, a likeness, an analogy. So even the most mind-blowingly advanced artificial consciousness wouldn't be the same as ours. It would be a reflection, not a copy, something else entirely. So let's pull all of this together. Our cyborg nature, that dangerous idea of enframing, the fact that we're making AI in our own image. When you put it all together, we can finally ask the right question about AI ethics. We're caught in a paradox. There's no way around it. Our technology is this incredible, powerful extension of our humanity. It lets us do things that would have seemed like magic just a few generations ago. But at the exact same time, it holds this incredible power to diminish us, to trap us in that worldview where everything and everyone is just a resource. And this is exactly why those ethics frameworks keep failing. They're trying to solve the problem without a rich, meaningful vision of what a human being actually is. So to get this right, we have to ground AI ethics in a much thicker understanding of ourselves. This means focusing on 5 essential pillars. Embodiment, remembering we're physical beings, not just data points. Relational identity, knowing we're defined by our connections to others. Moral responsiveness, which means defining good based on a deep sense of human purpose. Meaning-seeking, our basic drive for a life that's about more than just efficiency. And finally, interior depth, valuing that complex inner world we build with both our internal and external memories. So you see, the ultimate question isn't, can machines think? The real question is this: if we are making AI in our image, what kind of image are we showing it? The challenge of AI ethics isn't about technology. It is, and always has been, a challenge about us.